defend the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A gain of 37.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan today, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Brandon, that's what you call being manhandled at the point of attack. And I know the offensive line gets a lot of blame for that one. But occasionally, the defense just knows what you're going to do. Maybe they scouted it perfectly. Maybe someone tipped it off. But on that play, it had no chance.
Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this will remain a scoreless game. That opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
They'll start on the ground with Swift. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. Cameron Curl up to make the tackle.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Goff finding Hawkinson there for the Lion first. The Lions at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they've gotten a pretty good deal from the schedule makers as well. Home dates in Weeks 1 and 2.
And I would believe that they would need to take advantage of that, partner, because as you can imagine, the road dates will pile up later this season. So this is a great opportunity for them to put some early distance on the rest of the division and create a little bit of a cushion for them for later in the year.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Play action. It's gone. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means he'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
We're good. We're good.
Now it's gone. He's got this complete to Williams. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington 16. That one goes for 24 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
Pressure too great, and he goes down once more. No surprise there. Chase Young wrecks that play with a sack.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Now on 3rd and forever, he'll look to throw. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Cameron Curl. And the Commanders are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Wentz now to throw.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by a Fitu Melifonwu.
And he'll bring this one back to the 29. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw or maybe the ball's tipped or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result. Well, they certainly knew their challenge as this series began, and they got to stop on play number 1. Goal now, get 2 more stops and limit the damage to a field goal.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Go off a handoff here to Swift.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. Here's Goff. Touchdown!
Jamison Williams.
His 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Lions post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter.
Extra point by Seibert up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive in particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ballgame.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Wentz going to throw.
Throw right side, taken in by Gibson.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
They use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. To throw, it's Wentz. Dancing to his left. This is caught by his tight, and it's out. He put it on the carpet, and this is scooped up by the Lions. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because...
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right.
Wentz now on 1st down. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. On play action, Wentz. He rifles one that's intercepted.
Picked by Jeff Okudah. And the Lions are going to take over at their own 28-yard line.
2nd straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
That's some good hard running there as he'll push his way forward for about 5. The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
They'll stay on the ground with Swift.
He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Now Goff.
That pass caught. It's Williams.
And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. That one will go down. It's 33 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
I would say just add that one to the total big plays he's already made here in the first month of the year. You've got to think the front office and the coaching staff have got to be excited about what they've seen so far and really excited about what they expect to see down the road.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift.
He'll get it to the 23-yard line.
Jonah Jackson, former 3rd-round pick, the guilty party.
Goff now looking to throw. This one caught. It's the tight end Hockenson. He's brought down in the red zone at the 18 after a gain of 18. 1st and 10.
Having someone like T.J. Hockenson as your starting tight end makes you feel good as an organization because he finds ways to get open and gives his quarterback a reliable safety net over the middle or even to the edges. Case in point there, that play for...
That's into a crowd and intercepted.
Picked off by Bobby McCain.
And the Commanders are going to get the football back at their own 17.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away and could cost them a ball game?
That's out to the flat for Gibson.
Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Now Wentz. Thomas brings it in. Now another timeout called for by the offense as he'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Now Wentz. Slings this deep from McLaurin. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Commanders are an extra point away from evening this one up. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So I'll leave it at 7 now as they kick it away. From the end zone, here comes Williams. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And with a little under a minute to play, they may be looking to pick up some yardage here, maybe try and come up with a field goal to seize the lead. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Past the 20. And in for the Lions touchdown. DJ Chark, 77 yards. And the Lions will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Well, that's a heck of a response to regain the lead after we had seen the touchdown to tie the game.
I would say what we just saw there was a great amount of poise, because typically when teams tie the game up, it's a little bit of a, how would you say, you kind of take a step back and have to get yourself regrouped. They regrouped in a hurry, didn't they? They attacked back after they'd been tied.
And in a big way, that was a statement-long touchdown. Kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. A slim deficit here in a one-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3 and take some momentum into the locker room. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Throwing now is Wentz. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And got his man complete. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. The final shot before half for Wentz. Blitz coming, and down he goes. So we've reached halftime here in Detroit with the Lions out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. From the end zone, here comes Williams. Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And this will wind up a Lions first down as he'll take this up to about the 33-yard line.
Swift split carries down the middle with Jamal Williams in 2021. But he's one of Detroit's busiest players in the passing game. He caught 62 passes, second on the team, and 4th among NFL running backs. His showing could convince the Lions to make him their RB1.
Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10. Once again, it's Swift. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
On 2nd down, Swift. And he'll pick up about 3 there, up to the 43. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Touchdown, Detroit! Jared Goff with his 3rd touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Lions go up by 2 touchdowns.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And it's now 21-7. The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that leads you to bigger errors.
Wentz is intercepted yet again. And he's going to get this on down to the 13-yard line. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
The broken tackle could not free him as he's brought down at the 10-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
And he's brought down. 45 yards rushing for him now, and what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making making it work.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
So an incomplete pass a moment ago, and that leads to 2nd and goal. They'll fake the give. Now Goff. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
All right, Captain, it's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your running plays. Fire another one into the end zone.
3rd and goal, option right. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Jared Goff.
It's a 1-yard touchdown run, and the Lions take a 3-touchdown lead.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It's a 1st down for Washington on a pickup of 11.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Wentz now on 1st down.
Checks this one down to Robinson.
So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile.
On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40.
And that's about the easiest decline call you'll ever have right there.
Well, it leads me to one of my pet peeves, and maybe peeves is too strong of a word. But if you're going to jump off sides, finish the play. Make sure the play ends. Don't jump off sides and stop. Because you see the net result here. If you go ahead and finish the play, you don't give up that type of yardage. That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close.
A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches.
Now Wentz. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 21. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now.
taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Wentz. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Deshaun Elliott. And the Lions are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And that's out to the flat for Swift. And he is going to have a Lions first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
Well, clear running situation, trying to take time off the clock. You ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
55 rushing yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front. Good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
They had 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Throwing on 3rd, Goff.
And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
And that's exactly what offenses try to avoid by using motion and throwing different formations up. They hate when he can draw a bead on the play, get a running start, and make a big play behind the line of scrimmage as he did just there.
Now it looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves them with 7 yards to go on 3rd down.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Now Goff. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25.
Out
They're set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the...
And now here's another interception. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And the Lions are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player, you have to know the situation.
Right back to Swift again on second down. Third down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half, the adjustment, whatever they did in the